Disney does not care about animation. And I'm tired of pretending that they do. Okay? They don't care about animation. They never have, and they never will. They didn't care about it when Walt Disney was alive, and they sure as without a doubt, don't care about it nowadays. You look at this and tell me that Disney cares about animation. You look at this and tell me with a straight face, oh yeah, you know, they actually do care about animation. They think it's a legitimate art form. They really do respect the art of animation. They do respect the thing that made them the way that they are today. Oh my god, bro, this is getting ridiculous at this point. This is actually getting ridiculous. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about Disney's live-action remakes, because they have crossed the line. Let's just put it that way, okay? A while back I made a video talking about a lot of things that were going on with animation and why I believe that animation was a dying art form. And one of the things that I brought up were the live-action Disney remakes. And it seems that now they've somehow gotten even worse. Because very recently, actually yesterday at the time of recording this, it was announced that a live-action remake of Moana was in the works. Now for context, Moana came out in 2016. Moana is still a fairly recent movie, and they're making a live-action remake of it. This is actually insane. When are they gonna stop doing these, for real? Alright, the other live-action remakes, to give them the benefit of a doubt, at least there was a considerably huge gap between when the original animated movie came out and when the live-action Disney remake came out. At least they wait a while before they make these movies in like 9 million quotation marks. The most recent movie in the Disney canon to get a live-action remake is Mulan, which came out in 1998. The remake came out in 2020. That's an over 20-year gap between the original movie and the remake. I'm not saying that these are good movies, but at least there's a gap. Moana isn't even 10 years old, and they're already making a live-action remake of it. You know, and this was something that I feared. In the video where I talked about the live-action Disney remakes, I brought up how I was greatly disturbed by the fact that inevitably there will be live-action remakes of more recent Disney movies like Frozen and Moana. And, well, here we go. Here's Moana. Another one bites the dust. That's another movie. When are they gonna stop? Alright, let me show you something. This picture shows every movie in the Disney canon that has been released, starting with Snow White, ending with Strange World. And then here's an alternate version of that same image. Every movie that has either already gotten a live-action remake or is about to get a live-action remake has their poster recolored red. This is actually ridiculous. When are they gonna stop making these? Please. Who watches these? I know who watches these people. Nostalgia sells. Nostalgia sells. You know, original ideas. Rehash old stuff because that's what people want. These movies that keep getting made and they keep making money because of brain-dead consumers who want to relive their childhood. I don't understand the logic. People watch these remakes because they feel nostalgic for the original movies, the original animated movies, in which case, why not just go and watch the original animated movies? Why would you watch a soulless, inferior version of your childhood movie? That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. Disney doesn't care about animation. They don't. I don't know why that's such a hard thing to understand. This shouldn't be considered an unpopular opinion. As a matter of fact, this shouldn't even be considered an opinion at all. This should be considered a fact. Like, oh wow, Disney doesn't care about animation. Oh wow, in other news, the sky is blue and grass is green. Like, no shit, Sherlock. We already know that. You look at this and you tell me Disney still cares about animation. I dare you. I dare you. Maybe there are people. You know, I'm mostly raging towards the corporate side, you know, the higher-ups and whatnot, because I'm sure there are passionate people that work at Disney, that they are passionate about animation. You know, there are people that have made great animated movies and great cartoons and whatnot, you know, talented people and artists and whatnot that have a passion for animation. But the fucking corporate side of Disney doesn't care about any of that. They just want to remake everything into live action slop because that's what generates all of the money. Disney could quite literally get rid of their animation division. Disney could quite literally stop making animated movies and nothing bad would happen to them. People in the comments are going to tell me, oh no, that's not true. If Disney stopped making animated movies, then they're going to lose a lot of money and then they'll go bankrupt and shut down or whatever. Okay, first of all, you say Disney shutting down would be a bad thing. I don't know why you would think that, but that's not the main point. If Disney stopped making animated movies, nothing would happen to them. They have Star Wars. They have Avatar. They have the MCU. All of those franchises, they make a lot of money. Disney is not making animation, it wouldn't mean anything to them. Let's look back at 2022. Disney released 3 animated movies in 2022, and of these 3 movies, one of them didn't even get a theatrical release, and the other 2 movies, they did get a theatrical release, however they did really badly at the box office. But guess what? That doesn't matter to them. You know why? Because in that same year, in 2022, they released 3 MCU movies and the long-awaited sequel to the highest-grossing movie of all time. And all 4 of these movies made like $1 bajillion each at the box office. Disney doesn't care if they don't care at all. Strange World doing badly at the box office, it meant nothing to them. Because Black Panther Wakanda Forever and Avatar The Way of Water, they both came out at the same time as Strange World. They made a boatload of money. So it doesn't matter to them. There is no reason for them to be concerned at Strange World doing badly at the box office. It's the same thing with Lightyear. Oh no, Lightyear's doing bad at the box office. Well, thank God for Thor Love and Thunder coming in to make $900 million. Oh my god, man. I have to wonder, is this planned? Like, is this intentional? Are they intentionally making their animated movies flop so that, you know, the MCU and Star Wars and whatever can rake in all the money? Like, this feels like it's intentional. Like, they intentionally released 2 movies that were obviously going to be major blockbusters and obviously were going to overshadow this animated movie. Like, I have to wonder, was this intentional? And now we're going to see what happens with Elemental and Wish. We're going to see what happens with those movies. If Disney cared about animation, they would prioritize it and put it on the same level as Star Wars and the MCU. Look at how much attention they give to those franchises, and then look at how much attention they give to their animated movies. If Disney cared about animation, the live-action remakes wouldn't exist. There would be no reason for them to make them. There would be no reason at all. If Disney cared about animation, they would be jumping in on this trend of more artistic animated movies. They would, you know, change up their extremely old and stale formula and actually give us something new, something different, something fresh. That's what they would do. At the very least, Pixar would be doing it. The fact that Pixar isn't following this trend is baffling to me. Seriously. Let me tell you something. You have no idea how happy I was when GDT's Pinocchio won Best Animated Feature at the Oscars over Turning Red. Bro, I swear, I had a whole video planned if Turning Red won over GDT's Pinocchio or Puss in Boots. Like, you have no idea. I had a whole video planned, and when I saw GDT's Pinocchio win, I was just so happy, and I got to see my man spit some truth. He got to spit the truth. He got to spit some facts at his award speech. You know, it was amazing. If Turning Red won, I guarantee you wouldn't see this. Animation is cinema, all that stuff. No, it would just be nothing like that if Turning Red won. I guarantee you. Animation is art. Animation is cinema. There are so many beautiful things you can make with animation. Animation is not just some dumb thing for kids only. Animation can be enjoyed by anyone, regardless of age, okay? Some talentless hack and his stupid fucking mouse will not change that fact. I don't even care if you think I'm going too far, man. I don't care. I really don't. If Walt Disney isn't responsible for the animation is for kids nonsense, then I don't know who is. I'm just saying, Walt Disney, when he was alive, he should have dropped some weird fucking movie, he should have made some some really weird experimental avant-garde Disney movie, something completely different from like Snow White and whatever, something like really out there, something to really show that you could do so many things with animation. Just make this really fucking weird avant-garde movie that is definitely not for kids. I don't care if you think I sound pretentious for suggesting that, okay? I really don't care. All I'm gonna say is making safe and inoffensive princess movies isn't going to convince people that animation is a legitimate art form and not just a dumb thing for kids. And yes, I get that there were only 3 princess movies released in Walt's lifespan, and all of the other ones like Beauty and the Beast and The Little Mermaid, they came out long after he died, but I don't care. My point still stands. I'm sick of these live action remakes. Everyone is, but I'm extra sick of it. Disney doesn't care about animation. That is a fact. That's not an opinion. That is a fact, and that is the truth. Disney hates animation. Okay? They hate animation. How many more fucking live action remakes do we need to get before people can finally think, you know what, maybe Disney doesn't care about animation, maybe they don't like animation. At this point, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I respect Illumination more than I do Disney at this point. I don't even care. I really don't even care, honestly. Unless they announce a live-action remake of Despicable Me, Illumination cares far more about the art of animation than Disney does. Okay? You cannot look at these live-action remakes and tell me that Disney still cares about animation. You cannot look at them prioritizing Star Wars and the MCU over animation and tell me that Disney still cares about animation. They don't. End of story. Not to mention as well that in terms of being a company, Illumination is infinitely better than Disney. The worst thing Illumination does is they make mediocre and generic movies. That is nothing compared to the huge amount of horrible things that Disney has done. There are so many terrible things that Disney have done in the past that it makes me wonder, why is Illumination the most hated animation studio? Like, it doesn't make sense. Also, let's not have double standards, okay? Let's not act like Disney hasn't been putting out a lot of generic and mediocre movies over the last few years either. In the years to come, nobody is going to remember movies like Lightyear or Strange World because there is nothing interesting or noteworthy about these movies. If these movies were from Illumination, then they would get a lot more backlash, but nope, it's okay for Disney to release generic animated movies, but it's not okay for Illumination to release them. I don't understand the logic. Encanto got a pass simply because it had a few mildly catchy songs in it. Once its 15 minutes of fame were up, it became immediately forgotten about, just like all the other movies. Not every animated story can work in live action, okay? There are rare instances where it could work, but most of the time when you try to take an animated story and make it live action, it's either impossible to do or it is possible to do it, but it will be very poorly executed if you do it. And I think the live action Disney remakes fall in the latter category. On the contrary though, I'm pretty sure nearly every live action story could be told in animation with no problems. Like, look at any critically acclaimed movie, look at any critically acclaimed TV show, and I guarantee you that they would be just as good if they were animated. Like, they would still retain all of the great qualities that they have. It's just that they're animated instead of live action. If Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul were cartoons, no, we're not going to acknowledge the existence of this thing. I guarantee you they would both be really good. They would both be just as good as they are, even if they were animated shows. I can guarantee you that. Animation shouldn't be seen as weaker than live action. It should be considered just as strong as live action, arguably stronger than live action, because again, not all animated stories can work in live action, but all live action stories could work in animation. That's just all I'm gonna say, okay? These movies need to stop, but they will never stop because consumers will keep wasting their money on these movies, and they're gonna make like a lot of money, and that's gonna inspire Disney to keep making more and more of these movies, and it's just never gonna end. And it's not just stopping there. We're getting sequels and prequels and whatnot for the already existing live action Disney remakes. Like, we're getting like a sequel or prequel, I don't know, spin-off film for Lion King 2019 and another one for Aladdin 2019. And it's just so insane, like how much more they're gonna milk these for real. You know, there's a small twisted part of me that wishes these planned sequels were just live action remakes of all of those direct-to-video Disney sequels from like the 90s and 2000s and whatnot. You want to know why I wish that was the case? Because I just want to see how creatively bankrupt Disney can get. I want to see that happen. Moana will make a lot of money at the box office, and then that's going to bring in a lot more of these Disney remakes. They won't stop. Every movie in the Disney canon is going to get a live action remake. Will there ever be a movie in the Disney canon that won't get a live action remake? Actually, yes. Surprisingly, there is. I did my research, and apparently they have no intentions to ever make a live action remake of Pocahontas. So, you know what? There you go. The one Disney movie. The one f***ing Disney movie to be spared from this onslaught of live action remakes. There you go. Also as well, there are a few Disney movies that were released in the 40s that are barely movies. They're just shorts. They're just compilations of various shorts. You have Make Mine Music, Fun and Fancy Free, Melody Time. Just these like really obscure movies that like nobody's ever heard of. They don't even count as movies. They're literally just compilations of shorts with no like connection. I don't even know why these are considered part of the Disney canon, but they are. And really now, there is no way that Disney would ever make a live action remake for Melody Time. You know, that famous Disney movie that everyone knows and loves? Yeah, bro, a classic right up there with Aladdin and The Lion King. Come on, bro, be serious with me right now. Be serious. Anyways, that's about it. The live action Disney remakes are bad. You've heard this take a million times, but they've crossed the line now with this live action Moana remake, and I just wanted to make a video discussing it. Disney hates animation. Don't ever forget that, okay? If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to like, and if you're new to the channel, then consider subscribing to the channel, because it would be greatly appreciated if you did. Thank you everyone for watching this video, and I will see you all next time. Adios.